Hello there and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about Star Wars Shatterpoint, and I'm going to be making a little bit different of a video. This one's more of a thought experiment about the Padme We Are Brave pack, because there's been some talk recently about trying to optimize Sabe's Loyal Protector's tactic ability, which allows at the start of her activation, each allied Handmaiden character may dash, but that dash is towards an allied primary character. So the question is, if Sabe gets pulled first or gets pulled before a primary unit moves, how do you actually make all of the handmaidens, because she is also a handmaiden, how do you make it so that they actually move forward, or the most forward that you can? So I'm going to be looking at that. They're next on my to buy list. I haven't gotten them yet. So today we're going to be using Luminara as Padme, Barriss as Sabe, and we'll use Magna Guards as our Royal Handmaidens. Over here I have Obi-Wan Kenobi with Rex and the 212th set up as you would usually deploy them, because we want to make sure that he's in a spot where you would deploy him to get your units within 2 of the potential objectives, at least for the existing shifting priorities mission, and because we'll potentially be using him as our target primary character. So when I would normally set up, you of course want to have somebody on each objective, ideally 2 people covering each objective. As you may see over here, I've actually got Rex and the 212th within 2 of this objective, so that if this one pulls up and either one of them is pulled up first, I can be fine to move them. In the middle, we have both of our supports. I can actually shove her a little bit this way. Move that a little bit. Okay, and yep, that's more than close enough. Good. Okay, so this is how we would deploy in a normal game when there's no terrain, obviously, to make sure that we're totally covered if we're to go first, and we don't want to have to reserve anyone to sit back and claim those objectives. So now let's say that you have pulled Sabe, and they each get a dash towards a primary character. Now, when you're doing towards, you're going to take the advance or dash tool, put it at the 90-degree angle, and point, basically have this be like an arrow from your primary unit to the other, the unit that's moving. And so if we did that, then that would be the angle that the move has to end up with. So as you can see, that's basically a horizontal dash, not helping us much on the moving forward into the map. So you definitely wouldn't want to have them go, and it's even worse with where I've placed Sabe here. you're really going backwards. So you're definitely not going to target Padme as your primary that they would go towards. You would want to aim at Obi-Wan over here, because that gives you better, it's straight sideways, but your 90-degree angle at least gets you some forward movement here. So we'll start with Sabe to get her kind of out of the way. Yeah, I think that's good. So we can go straight along like that. And then our Handmaiden. Let's see. I think that's lined up there. Now the edge of the base can't also go outside of our line from our towards measurement here. I'll put you there. And then this one. See, the angle's getting worse as we get closer. Gotta keep it inside that. All right, so everyone kind of moved at the same-ish angle. We basically have the way we deployed them just kind of over here. And as you can see, we've gotten ourselves just a little bit in front of the objectives. So just outside of range 4 for the front one, and yeah, kind of the back edges along the back edge of the objectives there for those Handmaidens. Now that is the ideal setup for this map, but because there's another map coming out, and there's going to continue being more maps. Let's go through saying that you, if there may be a reason that you're not deploying that way, and it would be more useful for you to actually deploy for the possibility that Sabe gets pulled first or before a primary. So I wonder if let's go with just straight on here. And now, of course, you can't get them all that way, but we'll see. Let's see where that dash gets us. But it would be the same. You could have another Handmaiden straight on this side. It's not going to change the angle, just where you end up on the board. So from here, we have a better angle, I would say. That's good. Now, as you can hopefully see, we're now a little bit behind. Basically, half of our base is in line with the back of the objective. So by moving back, We haven't helped ourselves in this case to be being straight beside Padme. Now, what if we went directly behind Padme so that we can use our towards as being like that? Again, we're even further back. Now let's see if we have it so that at least our towards angle is straight towards the other side of the board. Put them there. And then get our dash. Again, that's pretty similar to, I think, when we were directly beside Padme. I think the back of our objectives is about half through the base there. So what else could we try? Is there a little bit better angle for aiming towards Obi-Wan? Just a little bit ahead. Of Padme. Are we still within 2? Just. See, that's a straight line towards him there. But we're still going that sideways. And ending up our front edge just behind the front edge of the objective. So really, in the end, it's seeming a lot like basically deploy as you would normally for this mission, and that's kind of the best you can get. Anyway, so because if we deploy, or even if we have our Handmaiden, one of them straight forward, that extra distance is better than any distance you can get off of a slightly better angle, it's seeming. Yeah, I think that's it. Because yeah, that's basically the only way you get in front of the objective distance wise into the table is by starting off those handmaidens in front of Padme, even though it seems like that dash is a lot of horizontal movement. It's best to just start them out front. You're really not going to gain anything by by pulling them back in an attempt to change the angle on that towards measurement. But hopefully, if you've got a team like Rex and with Kenobi and all that, hopefully at some point you will be able to give Kenobi a dash, whether that's the dash from Rex or the jump from Kenobi himself and his patience, if you put him in reserve. And then you can change that angle. Let's get them back to our ideal deployment setup. And having him have dashed, that gets the primary having a dash really does help that angle, because we can get almost straight into the board with even the closer one. Yeah, this is going to be another case where it's just our deploying plus that dash sideways. And there. I mean, even that, it's not a ton further than our initial before he dashed. I mean, I'd have to go back through the video and compare, but you've maybe, by him having a dash, you've maybe gained an inch into the board, if that. Because I'd say that Sabe here is about an inch in front, inch and a tiny bit in front of the line of objectives. Yeah, probably an inch and a half in front of the front edge of these objectives. So you're getting a little bit, but not a ton if they've dashed. So you really, if you want to get the most out of their dash, you obviously want a primary to have already gone, because if he does a dash and then an advance, even if he's going to this objective over here, then obviously all your towards measurements are going to be allow you to go straight into the board forward. Just one more thing to add is that if you have someone like Rex, Pawns, or Padawan Ahsoka on your team and they end up going first, it would of course be better to give that dash to Padme, who can leapfrog in front of your Handmaidens, and then if you get Sabe, then all of those dashes can of course go forward. Hopefully that was an interesting video, and it answered or confirmed for me that there isn't really some other optimal deployment method with Handmaidens besides just what you would normally do for deploying for the game as usual. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.